How's it going, everyone? What is up? Welcome back to the channel and your daily dose of Mortal Kombat 11 discussions, leaks, and news. Today, I wanted to have a discussion. We're going to be talking about whether the OG characters from Mortal Kombat 1 deserve to be in every Mortal Kombat game. It's a very touchy topic. People are saying their characters deserve it more. These characters can take a break. Their characters shouldn't have to take a break. And we're going to get into it. There's going to be a bunch of hot takes in this shit, so prepare your, I don't know, loins, whatever. Before we get into it, in about 10 seconds, if you guys don't care to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave me a comment down below. It means a lot to me, and it goes a long way to help the channel. So, let's go ahead and jump into this now, though. So, I'm constantly seeing on Twitter people who are wanting Tayna, people who are wanting Natara, people who are wanting Havoc, people who are wanting X, Y, and Z character. They're always wanting these characters, and their defense is always, well, Kung Lao's been in the game since, what, MK2, Shang Tsung's been in Mortal Kombat since MK1, Johnny Cage has been in the game since MK1, Sonya's been there since MK1, and so is Kano. Not true on that. Sonya and Kano sat out from MK2. But either way, their defense is always, these characters can take a break, these characters are lame. And I think that's, like, the most ass-backwards way of thinking, like, in general, because it's like, hey, my characters should never have to take, this goes especially for the Mileena fans, who were like, why can't these other characters take a break? My character doesn't need to take a break. Why the fuck do the other characters have to take a break if your characters don't have to take a break? I don't know. Either way, a lot of people are saying that these characters, these OG characters, the special forces, should be taking a break from Mortal Kombat, because they were in the game since the first Mortal Kombat. Scorpion and Sub-Zero can take a break from Mortal Kombat. No, I think we're giving in way too much when it comes to that. I really don't think any character should be taking a break from Mortal Kombat, right? After Armageddon's roster, right, okay, you reset the universe, we got to MK9, that's completely fine, reset your universe, tell the story that you want to tell, but the characters that you introduce and bring back, and, well, that you introduce from game to game, all of these characters should be building up in one main roster. We shouldn't be having these characters cut off, like we should have had MK9's roster, and that entire roster, including DLC that they could have, you know, not counting the guest characters that we had in MK9, should have moved to MKX. We have all of those base characters from MK9, including the DLC there. And then the DLC gets added onto that. Bo Raicho, Trimmer, Tayna, and Triborg. And Triborg was like here and there. It was like a new character they created. And if they had Smoke already and shit, they probably could have added another guest character there. Like maybe someone like Havoc would have worked in MKX. But then you move on to MK11. You got the Kombat kids now. All the Kombat kids. All the characters from MK9 and MKX. You got the DLCs from MK9 and MKX. They're all there. This roster should be building up, and then you get the introduction of Cetrion and Garrus and who else? The boss bitch, Kronika. You get all of these characters in one big roster. We're building back up. We're progressing. That's what different games, that's what numbers are about when it comes to these games. We're progressing. We're from MK9 to MKX to MK11 with the story progressing, with the characters progressing, with the number of the amount of shit in your game progressing. But it feels like we went from MK9 having every single character we wanted on the roster to MKX to having most of them, but some were noticeably missing and were even in the campaign and were still not playable, which was, again, bullshit. And then we moved to MK11, and it feels like half of the characters we want in this damn game is, like, gone. There's no Sector, there's no Cyrax, there's no Smoke, there's no Reptile, no Ermac. There's so many characters missing, and they're, in my opinion, too busy focusing on taking away characters and adding these new characters. They're too focused on that instead of building on what they have. We're still yet to get any characters from the 3D era besides like Fujin and, in my opinion, Shiva. And I've had that opinion for 9 months, and don't at me about it. But they're so focused on taking characters that they think can sit out from the roster. from game to game. They're so focused on that, they still have yet to introduce barely any of the characters that they created 15 years ago. Which I think is kind of ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous that they have to be so focused on taking away characters and picking and choosing what characters go into the game now, that they can't even add characters that they should have added since probably MK9, characters that made a big difference and could have played into the story from a better point than what they did in the original timeline. Now, do I think this is NRS's fault? No, I don't. Of course this isn't NRS's fault. Do you think if the guys who are creating this big and long and winding story, that one of the best stories in fighting games, do you think if they had the creative choice to do whatever they wanted, do you think they would limit what they were doing? No, they wouldn't. They showed that at Midway when they were making MK1, 2, 3, 4, Deception, Deadly Alliance, and Armageddon. They showed that they would do this. They showed that they would put in the work. I just believe it's WB not wanting to give everybody this, that, and the other here in this game, because in their corporate minds, maybe, I don't know, they would think that you won't get it, they won't want to play the next game because they have everything in this game. And heads up, we play MKX still, but we play MK11 too. It's just like, I think they are limited by WB with what they can do, because WB wants to package more as DLC. They want to have more DLC here, more DLC there. They want to be able to have a story expansion here. They want to be able to have Havoc as DLC here, Rain as DLC there, pull a character that was base roster last game out, and make her DLC here. I don't know. It's kind of crazy, but I think if it was up to NRS, it would be them doing exactly what we've been wanting. It would be all of the characters playing into the story, minimal DLC, and all of that. But that's not the world we live in. Unfortunately, the parent companies control most of this. They kind of control the direction. Really, the only thing they don't control the direction of is the story, and I think if NRS did write the characters into the story and didn't give them a chance, it would probably work out a little bit better, but I'm assuming they're so limited. I mean, how many characters did Mortal Kombat 11 start out with? Like 25? I mean, that's 25 characters that you still have to find a way to make important in the story. You want to introduce a few new characters in the game, and you want to bring back some old favorites. Now, I think we shouldn't be focusing on whether characters need to sit out. Hey, your character needs to sit out because mine doesn't ever need to sit out. Or, hey, your character needs to sit out this game because mine sat out for the last 15 years. That's bullshit, and we shouldn't be focusing on that. What we should be focusing on is, hey, these characters didn't sit out a single fucking game except for MK2 with Kano and SONYA back in the old days. We shouldn't be forced to put up with it now. Games are supposed to evolve and become better. We shouldn't have everything cut up into tiny little pieces and fed to us every 5 or 6 years, and most of the time fed to us through $20 DLC packs. We shouldn't be fighting for what characters to sit out. We should be fighting for all of these characters to be here. We should be fighting for the characters we haven't seen to be additions of the characters we have, instead of making these other characters sit out. That's just my opinion on it. It's kind of been a hot topic in the community for the past little bit, and I saw someone post on Twitter about it, and I'm just like, I'm sick of hearing this. No characters need to be sitting out. No characters sat out in Armageddon. Why are we putting up with it now? Why are we starting these trends of division in the community between the 3D era, the combat kids, and I guess just the new era of like MK9? Like MK9 is its own branch, the 3D era, and then the MKX combat kids. We don't need to be so torn apart about all of this. We don't need to be telling each other our characters need to sit out. We need to bond together to get all of these characters in the game like it used to be. But it's just my opinion. Again, guys, let me know what you think about it. Leave me your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think characters need to sit out from game to game? Do you think we don't need huge rosters, or do you agree? Let me know down below. I'd really like to hear what you guys think about it. Huge shout out to my supporters, Frank the Tank H2O, Ricky Laughlin, Jay, MasterVex PC, and Sir D. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. I really hope you guys did enjoy. Again, I've been your host. My name is Tootin. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.
Sirens in the distance, I can hear their deadly song, and someone shouting out my name.